What's up, y'all? It's Christian Covington. I am 22 years old, in case you did not know. I'll be 23 pretty soon here in a couple months. So the reason I mention my age right now is because I'm letting you know that I'm about to read my first book, and I'm 22 years old. Like, it sounds wild, it sounds unrealistic, like, wow, you've never read a book your whole life, but like, yeah, I've never read a book my whole life. I almost read this whole book when I was in like 4th grade, I think. It was called The Golden Cadillac or The Gold Cadillac. One of the two. I really almost read it all because I was like, wow, this is such a good book. Whatever. But then like, I just didn't. I didn't end up reading it all. So there are a few reasons why I have never read a whole book. I'm not a good reader. Like, I'm not that great at reading. I always say I hate reading. When I was a child, like elementary school years, right? Maybe 2nd or 3rd grade, I was put in these reading classes. So I'm gonna get deep real quick. It's like low-key deep, like kind of deep, you know? I was put in these reading classes because like I read too slow. I wasn't finishing my CSAP on time, my reading stuff. I don't know, but for some reason they put me in this reading class, right? Or actually, it wasn't a reading class, it was like a reading tutor type of thing, because it was just me in there. What that meant was I got extra time on like CSAP when it was the reading portion, or if we were doing silent reading, I would go in a separate room and read with somebody else, like a tutor or something. It was the same lady though, she was cool. And at the time, it was like kind of embarrassing that I was in a reading class. Nobody else is in here, this is weird, but it made me like uncomfortable about reading. And I don't think I was really bad at reading. I don't think I was horrible, but I just think I would get called on a lot, and then I would get nervous because people already told me I couldn't read. So that made me feel insecure about reading. I'd be like, oh my God, I can't read. And then if I messed up on like even one small word or like said the wrong thing or whatever, then I would just give up, like, okay, well, I can't read. And I think I just said it to make things easier for me. It's like when you get bullied about something. A really good example that I hear a lot is about being fat. Like, people get bullied for being fat, right? And then they just start calling themselves out, like, well, I'm fat. So then it's not even funny if somebody else says it, or like, it's less embarrassing, you know? So that was me with reading. I'm gonna name it first. Yeah, I can't read, so I can't read. And so yeah, I had that struggle like for a minute, right? And then I think like after that, I just shut down completely, like with reading. So throughout the rest of elementary school, throughout middle school and high school, I did not read a single book. When we would get assigned readings, either I would not read it at all, I would do like Spark Notes or something else. And then the thing about it is, when I got to high school, I was in AP classes for English, like AP Lit and AP Lang. And you were supposed to do readings like before the class even started, like over the summer, or like throughout the class, but I would not do any of the readings. I actually don't even know how I got an AP Lit and Lang, but I did. And I passed the classes with pretty good grades, but like, I kid you not, I did not read one of those books, like not one. The teachers knew I didn't read the book too, that's the thing. And they would always tell me like, Christian, you're not gonna get very far in life without reading. And I was just like, okay, alright, yeah, okay, I'll read sometime. I would read enough to get by, but not like really read. So then I got to college, right? And throughout college, people would say similar things. And I met this really great person while I was at CSU. And she was kind of like, Christian, we're gonna stop saying you can't read. Like, you can read. Let's like help you read better, you know? She was like my mentor, right? So she would help me with a lot of stuff. She helped me throughout college. So she tried to work with me as much as she could, but still I never read a book. There are a lot of textbooks, actual books, just books on books on books in college. I just honestly stopped buying books after a while because it was a waste of money. I never read the books, so I was just like, why do I have this book and I'm not reading it? Like, I'm not gonna read it, you know? And I remember a couple of my professors in college would be like, you're gonna fail this class if you don't do the reading. And hey, was I close to failing the class? Yes, I'll give them that. Did I fail? No, I didn't. And that's not true for everybody. And I'm not saying like I'm smarter than anybody either. Like, it probably would have been so beneficial for me to read those books. I just refused to read. People would also try to find books for me that would be interesting, that they thought would be interesting for me. Oh, Christian, you should read this book. Like, it's really great. No thanks. No thanks. Oh yeah, I'll check it out. But like, knowing damn well I wasn't gonna check it out. Basically, I go through my 4 years of college without reading a book. But now that I think about why, like, why have you not read a book? What is your problem with reading still? Things happen when you're younger, and then it's like they just carry on, right? I learned stuff like that in school too, you know, like stuff happen when you're little, it affects you when you're older. It's definitely not as bad, but like I still have yet to read a book, you know, like that's kind of weird. I don't know, like most 22-year-olds that I run across have read at least a book in their lifetime. I've never met a person, honestly, that's 22 years old and has not read more than one book. Sometimes I'll say things like, all right, you know what? Today, I'm going to read a book. I would start a book that day and be like, okay, I'm going to finish this book. Like, this is the first book I'm going to read. But then, like, I would start reading it and I'd be like, I don't want this to be my first book. So one of my teachers hit me up, like, a couple weeks ago. One of my 6th grade teachers, actually. And she was like, hey, I just read this book. I want you to read it so you could change the world. So she ends up buying me a copy of this book, right? And she was like, okay, I'm going to give it to you next time I see you. So this is the book. It's called The New Jim Crow, all right? And it's by Michelle Alexander. All right, so this is going to be my first book, and I'm really inspired to read this book now. One of the things that she did say when she gave me this book, she was like, but don't, like, hate me after you read it because, like, I'm a white lady. But she gave me this book, and she gave it to me so I could use it as a tool in order to change the world. That's what kind of book should be my first book, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel. I just thought I would share that this is going to be my first book that I'm reading, and I'm 22 years old. I'm actually going to be really proud of myself when I'm done reading the book, and then I can finally say that I've read a book. But I thought I'd get a little personal, share just like a little something, because I feel like there's something that we've all been ashamed about at some point in time. And mine was reading. People that know me now know that I don't read. I don't say I can't read anymore, because I know that I can, I just don't. I think that I'm overcoming this whole I don't read thing. Well, I'm trying. I'm trying right now. Ish. A couple days ago. Started. Anyway. If you were ever, like, I don't know, made fun of for something that you didn't know how to do a long time ago, I don't know, singing, dancing, reading too, just something, then just, like, now that you're older, just be like, fuck it, you know, and just do your own thing. Like, you gotta start somewhere, and this is my start. So this is my for real start. Like, I've never been this serious before about reading. So, it's getting real. It's real. Alright, y'all. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. All of that. And I will see y'all sometime soon. Wish me luck on this here book, alright?
Still coming out strong.
Yiggity.
Still coming out strong. Take my kindness for